Welcome to the V. Lenore Show. Here, we will discuss lifestyle, beauty, celebrity gossip, and current events in our own way, my way, V style. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing out there tonight? Welcome to the V. Lenore Show, and I'm your host, V. Lenore, of course. We are live tonight on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn. So for those of you that may be watching on one of these platforms for the first time, welcome. To all of my guests that were waiting so patiently in the chat, excited for our special guest this evening. Hello to y'all. Let me say hi to you guys first. Hey, NY Nubian Queen, Retro Babe Saves, how are you? Hey, Fedora, my beautiful, beautiful ma. Thank you for being here and welcoming our guests. Hey, Heavy Bear. Hey, Penny. Dear Self is here. Hey, Brooklyn Star. Let's see who else. Jill's Comfort Zone, a little shade, all love. Hey, Penny. Hey, Valerie. How are you? Let's see who else. Adore Me. I saw Adore Me is here. Hey, Ronnie Q. How are you doing? Who else we got? Hey, Just Andrea. Cool Gamer is here. Hey, Tweety, Summer Breeze. Who else? Kareem the Trucker, of course, he is here. Thank you, Kareem. Hey, Jerome. Angie B is in the house. How are you? I am Lainey. Welcome to the channel. Who else? Hey, Carrie Original. Stephanie. How are you, Stephanie? Brenda Hobson. Hi, peace, love. Let's see. Know Your Own Worth. Another beautiful mod of mine is here. Hi, Leonie. 2.0. Exposed TV is here. Who else? Did I miss anybody? Hey, Kimberly Black. Denise Jonas is here. Oh, wow. Hey, T. Trisha. Another singer in the house. Hey, T. Trisha. Duchess Kelly Love. Another singer. How are you? Let's see who else. Debbie Deb's in the house. Hey, Debbie Deb. All right. So I'm excited. So I just spoke to the folks on YouTube. I'm sorry, I can't see my Facebook chat, but I'll promise I'll come back over here and check you guys out in a little bit. But anyway, I'm excited. So this is a very, very special night. Look, I told you guys earlier, I'm fanning out. Because Karyn White is here. All right. Karyn White is in the house and I'm excited about it. Okay. So tonight we're going to get to know her a little bit. Also, you guys, make sure that you are liking this video. Please like the video. No matter what platform you are watching on, please like the video. That sort of gets the video out into the algorithm. And then also, if you wouldn't mind, share the live. How about that? So if you are a content creator that happens to be in the chat, share the live. If you are not a content creator, but you have social media, you too can share the live. Hell, you could share it in a text message. I don't care. Just share the live. All right. So with that said, I'm excited. So let's get to it. Okay. I have a beautiful intro that I really want to read. This is all about Karyn White, what you didn't know, and maybe some that you did know. All right. So here we go. Karyn White, an incredible diva. Yes, she is one of a kind. She's an international recording artist and accomplished singer-songwriter who etched herself into music history with the 1988 smash hit female anthem, Superwoman. Along with Billboard Music and NAACP Image Award accolades, she recently received the 2022 Black Music Honors Soul Music Icon Award. She was born with a voice that is strong, vibrant, and full of emotion. And Karyn is hailed as the queen of the New Jack Swing and is an award-winning, twice Grammy-nominated, platinum-selling, internationally acclaimed music artist known for being one of the most distinctive and electrifying performers in pop music. And as a leading American female artist of the late 80s and 90s, Karyn has had 3 best-selling albums, multiple #1 hit singles, and is no stranger to platinum and gold success. And her debut album, Karyn White, went to #1 on the R&B albums chart and stayed there for 7 weeks. Karyn is best known for her platinum-selling single, Superwoman, along with other timeless hits, including Secret Rendezvous, Romantic, The Way You Love Me, and Love Saw It, featuring Babyface. And in 2011, she launched Karyn White Enterprises, a dynamic media company offering diverse, uplifting entertainment across music, TV, and film. And beyond being a soul music icon, Karyn's superstar talent, creativity, and business acumen that continue to build her legacy. Karyn White is a true superwoman. So without further ado, let's welcome Karyn White to the stage. Hi, Karyn White.
Hey, y'all.
I'm going to call you your whole name this entire interview.
You know what? That's all right, because they used to do that back in elementary. There's Karyn White.
They knew.
Yep. Back in elementary,
you thought it
was Karyn White. Ain't that something? You can't tell me words don't have power, right? You can't speak it into existence, right?
That's right. That's right. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Los Angeles, South Central Los Angeles.
Really?
Yes, I sure am.
What's
Born
about
and raised.
Manchester?
I went to school with the amazing Wendy Raquel Welch. You know, I mean, Robinson. I keep saying Welch. Wendy Raquel Robinson. Yeah, so she was one of my classmates.
What?
Yeah, and so we were. The thing about Wendy though, and I'm just going to say, I didn't know that she was a dancer. So I didn't know. So acting came later for her. So I'm just so proud of her and all of her accomplishments too. So just shout out to my girl Wendy.
Well, I'm sure she feels the same way about you.
Oh, she does. When we finally got to see each other, she was sweet. She bent down. She actually she was like, because of you, you know, it told me that I could do it too. So you know how when one gets out of there, it definitely, you know, lets the other ones know, like, you can do it too. So I'm
wow.
Yep, that was dope. Hey,
so
y'all,
for those of you in the chat,
what's
wait,
up,
you know
everybody?
what the chat is saying? There's an echo.
Hold on.
Let's do something really quickly. I'm going to go to commercial. If your assistant that's there with you, if he can check the echo cancellation on his end,
okay.
I'm going to go to a commercial. This way we can see if we can rectify this. Okay. All right. I'll put you in the back. All right, guys. We're going to go to commercial real quick. We're going to come back. We'll be right back. So, you know, if you're feeling free with your wallet, here's what you can do with it. Okay. Just saying. All right, guys. Do me a favor, put a 1 in the chat if you hear an echo right now. If you hear an echo, put a 1. If no echo, put a 2. No echo, put a 2. Okay, I see some new people came in the room. Hey, everybody that came into the room. Okay. Uh-oh. I see a 1. Okay, I see mostly 2s though. 2 for no echo. Okay. I'm at bring Karyn back up. We're gonna check it one more time.
Check,
Karyn?
check. 1, 2, 1, 2. We in the
Check,
building.
Oh,
How is it?
I think we fixed it. You
We
guys,
in
if there's an echo, press 1 for an echo now. Let's do it one more time. Is there an echo now? No echo? We're good? Perfect. All right. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Actually, before we even go any further, hey, Brenda Hobson, thank you so much for the super sticker, super chat. Thank you. All right. So Karyn, South Central. So for those of you in the chat, when she said she went to, was it high school or all schools?
No, we went to elementary school together, and then I got bused to I went to LaSalle Avenue in the hood, LaSalle Avenue Elementary, and then I went to Bret Hart for a year. Then I got out of there because they was gonna cut my hair off. I had really long, like naturally long, like this hair. So they were, so I got out of there. I'm like, Mama, they gonna kill me. I gotta be a star. So I went to I lied and someone let me use their address in Westchester. So that was like, in the mixed area or whatever. Not mixed, what do you call it? Just the upper echelon. Yeah, the middle class. So I went to Westchester, and so she went to Washington High. So we but yeah, so those are just the little hood chronicles we talk.
That is so
hood chronicles.
So to you guys in the chat, she said Wendy Raquel Robinson, who was a co-star of the Steve Harvey show. That's who she was speaking of. So
yeah, and the game, yeah.
And the game, that's right.
Yeah.
Tasha Mack, that's right. I love that character.
Tasha Cole, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hilarious. Well, with that, so let me ask you this. You just said something that triggers a question I already had for you anyway. Did you always know that you wanted to be a star? Or that you were going to be a star?
Yeah.
You knew it.
Yeah, I knew it. I had the drive and determination. I loved performing. We'd be at, of course, after Thanksgiving. Oh, everybody sit around.
Yeah.
I'm going to sing this song for you. I'm Diana Ross. I'm Tina Turner. I'm wrapped up in what? Whatever. I love the attention. I was the baby. And then I was a promoter, right? I'm in elementary. I'm, Karyn White. I was a bully. And that's not cute, but I was. I had issues back then. So I would put together groups and I would, be promoting for talent shows and, let me sing with the PTA, blah, blah, blah. I was just a force. I'm just trying to tell you, I was a force. It had to happen. And that's what happens when you're, I have a mother who was just believed in me. Every time I said I wanted to do something, Mom, I'm going to be in that pageant and next year and I'm going to win it. Yes, you can do it. You can do it, baby. You can do it. I'm a show. I spoke it. It's so trippy. Like I keep telling you, words have power. And and it's so crazy because when I say that, if I really would have thought about what I was doing and the odds that were against me, I knew I probably would have ran scared like crazy, like what? 1%? You know what I mean? But, I just had so much faith and definitely come from a faith family. You know what I'm saying? And I it was just put in my heart. I had great people around me. My friends were very talented. I was like the least talented. So I was always soaking it all up, soaking it up from everywhere. Songwriters, musicians. My sister was a choreographer, and that's a big part of it too. It's just knowing how to just be cool, sit back and observe and listen. You know what I mean? That's a big part of. And then I had enough sense to just shut up and know when greatness was around me. Mm-hmm.
Well, you said you're the youngest. Youngest of how many?
Oh, the youngest of 7.
Of 7.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yes. So you always had an audience then.
Yes, I always had.
You probably were the spoiled one.
Oh yeah, I was spoiled. I'm the baby. What do you expect?
That's right.
So my nieces are like 3 years older than me, 3 and 4 and 5. And so yeah, it was a beautiful time growing up in Los Angeles, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. I'd go to auditions, and it's just you have the sunshine there. You got people there with that. I come to LA to be somebody, and that energy really is in the air. You know what I mean? So you never treat anybody bad, because you don't know this next person could be serving your food, but then they're the writer of a play, or of a movie. So all of that, and that's one thing I really love about LA. So and then the sunshine, of course. When you did have that disappointment, you had the sun, right? That was God right there, right? Having sun every day, right?
Yes. And that can change your whole mindset, your being, everything. Yes. Sunlight is everything. See, I'm from the Midwest, and it's not that sunny here as often as we'd like. It definitely impacts you.
Yes, that's what Derek was telling me about, coming, being in Ohio, and just how depressed and gloomy. So I didn't realize. So I started to look at that. I'm like, well, that was a big part of my happiness, was being able to, like, go out and play and sing, and and do this daily. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, we'd have in the fog in the morning, so your hair would drop. You'd have no curls. Then the sun would come out at 12, and you're like, oh, and I had all this hair. I'm like, oh God. Something like now, I'm like, what happened? I did 3 interviews before you. I'm like, what happened to my curls? Oh, well.
Honey, you look gorgeous. You look gorgeous. Let me say hi to some of the folks in the chat. And Tweety79, thank you. So proud of you, V. We've been waiting for this interview, Miss Karyn. We have been waiting for this interview, just so you know. For quite some time. We've been excited. Also, let's see. Hey, Design Studio ATL. So proud of you. Thank you, boo. Thank you.
Look at it, donating and everything. You got some good supporters.
Yes, I really do. We really do. So let me ask you this. How did you get discovered? So you obviously had a lot of practice. You were singing. I even read that you used to do pageants in your younger years. So you had a lot of practice in front of these audiences, and you knew you were going to be a star. So how'd you get discovered?
Like, I just couldn't know it. Like, you had to put the work in, girl. So no, my let's see. Of course, my mother was a choir director. She wasn't really a singer, but my grandmother had a holiness church. So this is really funny. So she would tell me to get on the piano, and I really only could play a few things. So in a holiness church, who cares, right? So you singing over chords and singing, precious Lord. I don't know what I was playing. Take my hand. No. So I'm playing. I don't even really know what I'm playing. So then, so church, of course, which is, the whole foundation of just my soul, right? And understanding what it means to, like, emotion. You got to have, that's where the soul comes from. And then I went to, we had a program called the Ebony Showcase Theater. It was for underprivileged children. So we would go there, and we were paid like $400 a month, girl. We used to get paid to learn singing, dancing, acting, modeling. And we would put on productions. And this was amazing until they cut that program, which was the worst thing that have happened. But so I did that. That kept me out of trouble, which I was always focused anyway. I would be kicking boys to the curb. I had a dream. And I'm so glad. And my sister, Brenda, shout out to my sister, Brenda. She's an amazing dancer and choreographer. So that's where I learned that from. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna teach you a routine. We're gonna audition for Star Search. So I'm like, oh God, just like stuff like that, just growing up and and then of course the pageant. So she was in the big pageant was called the Hal Jackson's Talented Teen Pageant. So my sister competed. You had to start out in, on a lower level and then you work yourself up to the international level. So I went with my sister, my mom. I think she was a runner up. And I said, Mom, I'm going to do it next year and I'm going to win. And I did. And I sang, when I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. So I had the Dorothy thing, So everybody sang those songs from Stephanie Mills and The Wiz at that time. It was a hot song.
Yes.
And, so I did my pageants. I would win. I think I did 2 or 3 of those, and the Ebony Showcase Theater, which was like Fame. So you had to learn how to do it all: the acting, the singing, the dancing, the performing. You had to be a performer. You know what I mean? Don't just get on stage. You got to perform. And so that's
and fame costs. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I know exactly. Fame costs. Fame is what. Yeah, and so actually one of my best friends, his name was Sean Earl. He actually was the first person from high school. He got the Fame. He was a dancer on there.
Oh, wow.
So he was the first one to break out from there. Also, I went to school with the amazing Bentley Evans and Stacey Evans, who are the creators of the Martin Lawrence Show, the Jamie Foxx Show. What's the other one? Just a bunch of them. Who's That Girl? Love That Girl, or something like that. So I went to school with them, and we were all, so they're in my documentary that I did for Lifetime, and they were talking about how I helped pave the way for them. You know what I mean? Wow. Them seeing that I was the first one to break out in a major way. So I've always been around just some amazing, talented people. At 16, and you tell me when to stop, because the girl I can go.
Go ahead. I'm into it.
Look,
We're all in.
So I was in a group called Legacy. At 16, I auditioned, and the founder was one of the members of Switch. He was the drummer.
Shut up.
Yeah, Motown. So they used to groom us, and so that was amazing. We had to learn all these harmonies. And you guys, if you know anything about Switch and the DeBarge, Bobby DeBarge.
Oh, yes.
That's going into the studio, hearing them put chords, and I mean, that was just training in itself. So I really became a background singer too. I started doing a lot of background singing after they put me out of Legacy, because they got a deal, and they said my other girlfriend, she was the other singer, they said her voice was more commercial, and Bonetta was bad. She's a great songwriter, and that was crushing, but I was just determined. It showed me what I'm made of, because I was like, I really knew I wanted to be a solo artist anyway. So it was kind of like, okay, well, now what do you do? So then I auditioned for Shalimar, and I think I made it. Yeah, after Jody left.
Oh, after she left. Okay.
What was the girl? Delight. Well, I forgot her name. It starts with a D. Delight, the one who wound up getting it. So we auditioned, and I didn't get that, but I came close to it. Then after that, I went on the road with O'Brien from, I don't know if you guys remember him, Soul Train.
Yes.
Yeah, so I went on the road with him and I auditioned for him and Don Cornelius, and then Don Cornelius would have me come and dance on Soul Train, and we were going to he was going to put a group together around me, but it didn't happen. And these groups, let me tell you about just I'm a band girl. So if you come, there's some artists that are singers and they just sing, but I'm a band chick. So I, really have been around a lot of amazing musicians. So a lot of O'Brien's band members also played with Prince. So, and then I dated one of, the drummer and all that. So I've always just my musicians have been boyfriends. So if they were co-drummers, then I would pick up drums. They play guitar, I'd pick up that. You know what I mean? So I just, when I was telling you about, that was who I was. Okay. You know what I mean? But so then that led me to the incredible Jeff Lorber, who was looking for, an artist. I wrote a song for Stephanie Mills. And with the money, I told my mother, please loan me the money. It's coming. I just wrote the song for Stephanie and I need to do my demo tape. And see, that was the first seed I was planting because most people would have said, I want to go buy a car or wardrobe.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Something physical. And so I definitely made it to where it was a priority to me. So I saved up my money and I hired that band that played with Prince and Sheila and all them. And so they put together my demo tape. And then
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Slow up, girl.
What? Wait a minute. So you said that you knew Sheila E before you were Karyn White that we know today?
Yeah, I knew her before that because my band played with her. Well, I actually took her band. So we kind of shared. It was like a thing. Yeah. So they were playing with Sheila and then I was coming up. You know what I'm saying? And my boyfriend was the drummer when he played with her. So
shut up.
Yeah, so the sax player, guitar, bass, yeah. So I really learned a lot from Sheila. So just being at her rehearsals and seeing, how, on the one, bump, 2 times, dun, dun, dun. I mean, just controlling the band, you know what I mean? So,
yes.
So I took that and put in my own, plus I love James Brown and I love Tina Turner. And I love the rawness. If you watch old Tina, woo, she is cold-blooded. I mean, just everything. You're just a performer, electrifying, feet shuffling like a female James Brown. So that's really kind of what I really wanted to be. I love Prince, Tina, and Michael. Those are, and James Brown.
Yes.
Those are my favorite, entertainers per se. And then there's also the Diana Ross side. Don't get it wrong.
Oh yes.
I love the we can go there too. But my more thing, I'm more funky. I'm edgy. I consider myself a rock star. So we had that. I had learned from her band and put together a demo tape. And then Jeff Lorber, I auditioned for Jeff Lorber, and I wasn't gonna go. This is something too, you guys. It's a trip at how you think things are gonna happen, how you want them to happen. I'm thinking, why would I go to a jazz sing? I don't sing jazz. I'm a pop. Especially I was an 80s girl. I'm like, I'm doing pop and R&B. So Jeff wanted to cross over to pop and R&B. So I had no clue, but I wasn't going to go to this audition, but thank God I did. Man, I can be a hardhead. So I went and they loved my voice and, we wound up, they said if the song did well enough that I would be signed to Warner Brothers. And so the song did well enough, and I went on the road. We opened for Shaka. You know how that was every night, seeing Shaka. My God. Opened for Shaka and Al Jarreau, and just Dave Koz was in my band with me. So you had Dave Koz over there.
Yes.
All of the audience, me, wow. It was, if anybody ever saw that Jeff Lorber, they'd be like, now they doing too much. Both of them. They would have said, now y'all, somebody, whose show is this? No, really, me and Dave Koz were really doing the most, y'all.
Wait, I never knew Dave. Huh? I didn't know Dave Koz was, I've never thought about him having been, in a band. I mean, it makes
I know, huh? Before he was Dave, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, we was doing, so just the best musicians, the greatest musicians. And Jeff, Jeff was just, it was such an honor that he featured us because he also had, Jeff also had Eric Benet on one of his projects before Eric made it big too. So shout out to Jeff Lorber for giving R&B artists, an outlet. But so that's how that started. And then I wound up, getting that deal with the incredible Benny Medina and Warner Brothers. And girl, look, God had answered my prayers.
Benny Medina, he's just a legend in and of himself, but wow.
Oh my God.
Okay, so let me skip forward just a little bit. So you became a solo artist, obviously, and now I'm guessing there's no coincidence that here you were having played and friends with Sheila E., her band and all that, and then eventually, and loved Prince. Obviously, you had to love the time. And so did you know Terry Lewis and Jimmy Jam prior to?
No, I knew Terry. I went to Janet. Janet had a party for her Rhythm Nation. I love Karyn White. Have her, invite her. So I came. And, of course I love Janet. Who didn't love Janet? Come on. She paved the way. She's the queen. So I met him there. And then I met him again when Michael Jeffries was the other featured artist with me, with Jeff Lorber. He had a female and a male. And so Jimmy and Terry did a single on him. This was after my success with LA and Babyface.
Okay.
So then I met Terry when I went to go do this record, and we were friends. And then we talked. He was like, "I may not like you. I may not like you either." So how are your toes? What? How are my toes? Oh my God! And let me see your fingernails. Oh my God! Yeah. I'm being but that was the funny side of him. But he was so incredible. He was raising his kids. He had 2 other children, and he raised them. And he would get up every morning and take them to school, and then he would get home from the studio at 5, and then take them at 7 to school, mm-hmm. and just a great, amazing guy. Outside of first of all, just integrity, just the whole Minnesota family. They were it was like I learned so much just being in that atmosphere, being a businesswoman, because they didn't mm-hmm. sign the raggedy deals like a lot of these producers that gave away their publishing mm-hmm. advances. They, from the beginning, Clarence Avant, the Godfather, was working with them. So they, were on just a high business level. They had, an amazing 800, it was 800, no, it was bigger than that, 8,000 square foot place, studio, and just it was big, studios, about 5 different studios, rehearsal halls, and all of that in Minnesota. So when I got with them, like I said, it was, I was just not even attracted to, I was attracted to just the person, his integrity, his talent, come on, he's Terry Lewis. But I had dated other, famous people, before Terry that, but none of them had the integrity mm-hmm. that he had, and it was rare, it's like, wow, and that for me, being a God-fearing person and everything, mm-hmm. I just really, I appreciated just the fact of him just being the man that he was and being the father that he was. So we fell in love, and everything happened fast. We got married, and we didn't even have a big wedding or anything. I think I stayed.
Who needs a big wedding? Who needs a big wedding when you have a big life?
I know.
Big life.
Look, I'm telling my daughter that right now, who's about to have a big wedding May 20th. I was like, why didn't we just go to Paris? And whoever could afford it, they should have been there, right? So she said, Mom, I was like, but anyway, I didn't care about it because, like you said, me and Terry, we were just kind of private in that sense. Thank God we didn't have social media back then. But yeah, it was a big lifestyle, and it was huge because like they were between them and Prince, they ruled Minnesota during that time. Yeah. And I learned so much. We built a 20,000 plus square foot home. So it was, I lived a fairy tale life.
Yes.
It was definitely, I'm telling you, it was like, I still really can't believe, I'm like, wow, I did a lot of that. And it was fascinating when I was young. I just wish I would have had the maturity that I had to understand, like, what you're living, this is like unreal. You know what I mean? Like, this is the 1% life you're living. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Here's the thing. So, obviously everybody doesn't, even the greatest entertainers have not had the opportunity to work with producers like the ones you've worked with. I mean, you've worked with some of the, not to mention being married to one, but having worked with some of the biggest producers
Oh yeah.
who are legends and
Mm-hmm.
black ones. Hello,
Oh, I know. And at
Babyface
that time, yeah, you're right. I mean, they were just they were just the cream of the crop. And I'm just so proud of, how Babyface went on and 100 more songs, like top 10. And I mean, it's just incredible. Like I said, that I was around such geniuses. And
Yes.
So that's what I tell my band. I'm like, don't forget who I work. Don't think I don't know. I have to remind you. We'll be like, oh, I know when I'm hearing this, and I know, like, trust what I'm saying. I didn't just sit there and I wasn't going shopping buying Chanel. I was in the studio paying attention. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean. So I try to, but it's beautiful because I learned, like I said, just my growth, business wise. And the greatest thing I'm going to say, though, from being around them is the integrity. Because, like I said, in this music business, a lot of people are shysty and dirty and don't want to pay people their value, their worth, or just lying. And I never saw any of that. And that's how they ran their ship, was just first class. And anybody that Derek will tell you, it's like I'm very fair. And I kept that with me, that just having that integrity in business, and that would be one of the greatest things I would say I learned from them, outside of course, the music part.
Let me ask you this: did you come across anybody who would? Obviously, people are always going to try you, but when we hear all these stories, like having coming out of the Me Too movement, and we're hearing about casting couches. Did you have a lot of producers that would try you in that way when you were young and just entering into the business and try to take advantage of you?
No, I was so blessed. I had one time where I was auditioning for this, I don't even know, but I don't even think I was 12 yet. I was auditioning from some little casting call that I saw in a paper. It wasn't real, you know what I mean? And then where the guy was trying to tongue kiss me, and I told my mother, and we got out of there. But that was before the real business. But I was so blessed. I'm telling you, I guess that people just, I don't know. I just had a covering over my life. Yes. I never had, even being on the tour, no drugs, none of that. Like I'm telling you, just God had me really protected, and never really had to deal with any of that. So I was like a late bloomer, because very naive, because you got to know that this is all I knew how to do, so it's like I didn't really realize, like, it was just kind of naive. Oh really? It was kind of like a little airhead a little bit when it came to people, because I'm just assuming everybody is being kind and being truthful, and what I'm trying to say. So that kind of stuff. So I had to kind of, in my 30s, I had to learn that, like, oh, everybody ain't for you.
Right.
Like, these people are around you trying to take advantage. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, but it's, I really, I'm really thankful for that.
But Karyn, that's amazing that you have been so protected, because honestly, some of the people you mentioned, and I can imagine some of the people you've been around, and I think about people who were coming up around the same time you were entering into the business, they weren't as protected. They got involved in drugs, or they were taken advantage of. So that is amazing. If you weren't doing this work, though, what do you think you would be doing if you couldn't sing, or and I mean, if you did not have the gumption to even give this a try, what would have been the second thing?
Well, I actually got to live it for 18 years. I left the business, so I got to have a second career. So I was a real estate investor and interior designer. So, because I'm a Libra and I love beautiful things. And I love, how am I going to say this? I love taking something that's, what would I say this, Derek? Refurbishing something so I can see the potential. And I think I like that with people too.
Okay.
I don't have to have like, I like to see the potential in people, and I like to, like, I see an ugly home and I know what to do. Oh, if I change the windows, if I change the paint, if I, frame this and make it an arch. So I think I love that refurbishing, and that's a part of my personality. So, yeah, so that I would be doing that, and I did do it, girl, because I was gone from this business.
Well, and that's what I wanted to ask you about too. What made you leave the business when you did? Was it after you had a child and you were raising your daughter, or what?
Heartbreak.
Okay.
Remember I was telling you about that just naiveness that I had, and I just wish I would have had more grit, because it kind of came too fast for me. Now that I look, because if I would have, there's some people that have been doing it, so they got wisdom. They just know how to get through tough times. I didn't know how to. I just needed more grit. I needed to say, child, leave me alone. I ain't worried about you. I'm staying focused on me. I don't want to hear the whatever. Janet has this song and it should be a Karyn White song and all this crap. I don't want to hear it. You get what I'm saying? Like, so it's just all of that kind of immaturity stuff of artist crap. You know what I'm trying to say? And so I wish that would be the part that I would definitely look at the bigger picture and not be so immature in that sense of, like Michael, that was all he knew. I'm definitely not comparing myself to Michael, but I'm saying, when you're sheltered like that, that's kind of, all you knew. So that's kind of all I knew. I always wanted to do this. And that was my whole driven focus. But so that, I think I answered your question.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Now, what made you return? So when you decided you want to come back to the business, what was it that lit your fire again to come back into this business and try it again?
Wow. Well, I realized that I was fearful. I realized that I was my worst enemy, that I was punishing myself.
Really?
I was not living up to really my legacy and who I was, and I was accepting bad men. I was just a whole nother person. And my mom had passed, and I didn't have that support like I needed. Yeah. And I kind of lost faith. So that young Karyn had it, but something happened, and I feel like just heartbroken, because I'm like, how did this happen? You know what I mean? And I didn't know I had to leave, because of course, I wasn't doing drugs or anything, but I wasn't going to fall apart in front of the world like that. You know what I mean? I just was like, and I walked away at the height of my career. I just, there was a single that we had out called I'd Rather Be Alone Than Being Happy. And they were like, we did a video, and he's like, it was during that whole OJ time. And it was like, this song could be a gold single. We're getting great stuff. We just need you to know, are you going to promote it? And I remember telling Warner Brothers, no, I can't right now. I'm going to, work on my marriage. And that was the worst thing I could have done, because I should have, that's the grit. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, I didn't know how to, and that's, people say Libras are balanced. I didn't know how to balance. I was like, I'm like all or nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, how do I be a great mother? How do I be a great wife and a great artist at once? I don't know how to do it.
Okay. Because I wondered when you disappeared to us, I thought, oh, well, she's, happy and married and raising a child and she doesn't need this anymore. But the truth is, when you're not doing what you're purposed to do, you're never going to be completely fulfilled, and that'll show up in that marriage and as a mother and everything else you try.
Right. So, and it wasn't, and some people try to get mad at Terry. They'll say, like, why did why did he take you from music or whatever? My fans. I'm like, no, nobody took me from music. I left music. You know what I mean? I fell out of love with music, and I didn't know how to. I just didn't. I didn't know how. I didn't know how to put it all together. So I figured I may as well. I don't want to be a train wreck in front of the world. So let me.
Right.
And then, but I went on a very. I love my life though, because at first it was, I left, and I didn't really care. I was people. Why aren't you singing? I went through all of that. But I realized something. I was like, Dorothy, you know how the whiz, it was like it was in you all along? I realized that when because I only had a 12th grade education. I'm not really going to say I had a great education. So when I saw that I was learning about real estate, and I didn't have Terry, I didn't have nobody. I did it all on my own, learning, studying. That was so liberating for me because I wasn't good in school and stuff. So I was like, I wasn't focused because I was too busy trying to be a star. I'm humming and the teacher's like, what? Huh? I'm seeing myself on Broadway, so I just, I focused on this, and it was like, wow, Karyn, you know what I realized is that you would be successful at anything you wanted to put your mind to, because you're doing this in real estate. You know what I mean? Flipping homes, owning property, owning 13 homes, nobody helping. You know what I mean? And I kind of knew what I was doing. I had a little plan, right? But I had more faith, and I knew, I had a little system that worked. Like, buy a home under 200,000. Do a lease option. And if the person doesn't buy it, then go back. I had a little system that worked, and I wound up having like 13 homes in Sacramento. And I looked up, and I was like, wow, over $6 million in real estate that I own. And I was proud of myself because I didn't really think I was smart. You know what I mean? In that sense, a book, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then I was doing business as, and not an entertainer. So even though I was, I wasn't singing, that was fulfilling to me, because I realized as long as I was just moving forward and doing things, that I'm not a failure. You know what I'm trying to say? But this was just so unexpected. It was like, wow, you're a real estate investor? You own these many homes? And, and then I would go to these, financial literacy courses and did it. So I love that, because I became so much more powerful as a businesswoman. So I'm glad I got that, because otherwise I would have been doing this. Terry, can you handle this? Da, 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 da. Okay. You know what I mean? And that was what I got used to doing. I got lazy because I knew that he knew, I need you to talk to Benny, and I need you to do it. And so it was like, no, you're going to have to do it.
Yeah.
So I really was starting to say, wow, I am a sleep. But really though, I was like, okay, you know what I mean? This is the grit I'm talking about. I'm seeing these girls, these, friends of mine that have, they have two different babies' daddies, but they're in college. They're going back, getting their degrees and having kids and working jobs and having careers. And I'm like, woo! So they inspire me. I'm like, wow, it's tough, but they're doing it.
Right.
So I wasn't tough enough. You know what I mean?
You were tougher than you gave yourself credit for, obviously, because you're naming off all of these accomplishments. We know that you were talented musically. You learned that you were talented from a business standpoint, that you could learn whatever it was that you needed to know. So it was, like you said, like Dorothy, it was always in you. It was very obvious, probably to the world, just not to you, maybe.
Just not to me. But I'm like I said, so I'm thankful that, I was able to become human, if that makes sense, you guys.
Yeah.
Not an entertainer, because I don't know if I would be the person I am. And I love that I have compassion for people, because I live stuff. I've lived dark places, high places, in between. And I'm not just so shallow that's all I know.
Right.
So it helps me with my singing, which is my ministry. And so when I get on stage, it's like, woo, I use that. It's not even that I'm trying to, but I connect. And it's so important when when you can really relate to that woman that says she's been through it. Cause I'm like, girl, Me too. You too? Yep, me too. And they can't believe it. You're a superwoman. I'm like, yeah, well, that's why I'm a superwoman, because we're talking about overcoming and, persevering, right?
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question before I want to play something really quickly. But before I do that, during those years when you were doing your real estate, how did you feel when you'd either hear one of your songs come on the radio, or you're watching something on TV and someone's singing one of your songs? What did that do for you? Did it ever make you like, let me get my ass back out here?
It's funny. The singing of the radio was always great. That's always just like, you're just happy and thankful. But I didn't really, the only person I saw sing the song at that time was like Heather Headley. She did it, and I saw it on the internet. It wasn't, and then I hadn't seen the multitudes. I hadn't seen the girls singing it all. So that was the only person. So I didn't, like I said, I didn't really realize that that I had such a legacy. Honestly, that's why it was kind of like, even today, people be like, "You are Karyn White." I'm like, okay. I mean, that's because, remember I told you I don't. That wasn't my value to be trying to say that it's like that's one of the things I do. Of course, I am that, but I didn't let that define me anymore. Because I couldn't survive if I would have. You get what I'm saying? The new Karyn couldn't survive under that kind of title. That I had to be the entertainer, and that's what I pride myself on that. I was like, I hated to see my friends that were massive, and they totally were torn apart because they weren't famous. They never went out. They became hermits. They were just weird because they didn't know how to be normal and be not successful and still be out in the world. So I prided myself on that. I was like, if you know me, cares. If you don't, I don't give a damn. You know what I mean? So I'm so glad that I overcame that. So I couldn't live under that title of I'm only that. You get what I'm saying? My heart wouldn't let me do that.
Yep. Well, that's a superpower in and of itself, because some people are only defined by one thing, and when that thing fades away or goes away or something happens to you where you can't do that thing, then they just whittle away and die, and that's a superpower. And now let me say this. While you may have not been missing the business was definitely missing you. And I think I've been wanting you to come to this show for some time, and I've been so excited about it since knowing you were coming. And I saw something where you were out and about this past weekend, yes? And some people heard that you were in the building. So this was what was it called? The R&B experience in Atlanta at the State Farm Arena. Here, let me share my screen real quick, because I want to show the peoples what was happening this weekend. You were just there minding your own business, I take it, trying to
celebrating Immortal Lots of Supreme.
Yeah, just trying to enjoy a little show, and they heard you were in the building, and they called out Karyn White. Can we hear? Oh, we can't hear. Hold on. Let me go. Hold on. I see what's wrong. Oh, we're gonna hear this. There we go. Who's in the crowd?
Karyn White, baby.
Karyn White, baby.
Yeah. I felt that shit. You right, baby. I don't, shit. Good gosh.
That's all right. Now, who was all performing at that show this week?
Man, the who's who, the Atlanta culture, everybody.
Yes.
Look.
Yes.
I'm such a big T.I. fan.
actually,
Not personally of his lifestyle, but his music.
uh-oh.
Come on now. It's T.I. Escape, and all the Housewives, Portia, and
Yes,
Phaedra.
actually, I got a few pictures. Here
Oh,
is
yeah.
one.
And Karen Henson.
Yep.
And it was
Yes.
what's his name? My boy Chris Tucker. It was a lot of Jagged Edge. It was so many. And that's reconnecting with Bobby because I toured with Bobby for 2 years, at the height of both of our careers on the Don't Be Cruel tour. So yeah, that was we got a nice little buzz from that. Yeah.
I know that's right. Actually, let me go back to that
nice.
first picture. Let me go back to that first picture. Uh-oh. This is Darren Henson. You guys might know Darren from Soul Food. He's on, what is it, Family Business? I think it's called, the show on now. And that's T.I. And then is his name Marvelous? Marvin?
Yeah,
I know
Marvin,
he's the A&R guy, right?
Yep, my manager.
He's your manager? Okay. Okay, yeah. I remember seeing him on, oh my gosh.
A reality show?
It was a reality show, Brothers.
Oh, really?
You remember that? You remember that group? He used to I think that's their names. They were a talented group of brothers who could sing their butts off, and they had a show, and he was
wow. Yeah, he does artist development too. So he has a place here in Midtown, and everybody comes through there. I mean, he's worked with everybody. So, me and Marvin go way back. We started out, he was the road manager on the Bobby Brown tour. So we started together from there, and we had always wanted to work together. So
wow,
it's been great. So he's my manager.
And then this is Portia from Atlanta Housewives and Shamar. What's her name?
Yes,
her best friend. Did they sing the? No. They sang the national anthem at something though recently.
Oh, really? I know they were up there doing They had something with Young Jock. They were doing something, and they had on their little, cute outfits. That's what they had on, and they were just up there doing. I can't remember. I don't know the songs, but they were so sweet, and it was beautiful because you know how the housewives are. You're like,
yeah,
do they care? Yeah. You know what I mean? They didn't see everybody, but something about Karyn White, they were like,
yes.
They were young girls, you know what I mean? So it meant something. You could tell it was like, oh my God. And, and it was such a sweet sisterhood, and that Phaedra. I hate that picture.
There's Phaedra, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, damn. I had to take one for the team on that one. Yeah. I'm like, damn, I hate that picture. I couldn't find my glasses. So I'm like, Derek, give me your glasses. Wrong. I'm like, whatever. Look. Like, when you gotta post the dang on pictures, right? You can't, But yeah, it was a beautiful, beautiful energy, beautiful time. One of my best times in Atlanta because Atlanta is something else. Everybody a star here, and they know it. Even if they ain't, they go, I am. I remember the girl who was doing I used to get my eyelashes done, right? And she was like, oh, yes, Karyn, yeah, all my clients are stars. Like, don't just think it's
Lord.
All of them are. I was like, oh, okay. Go ahead, girl. Who am I to tell you they ain't? Yeah,
girl.
So
hilarious.
Oh, yeah. They'll tell you here. Like, we stars.
What's next for Karyn White then? Tell me what's next.
Girl, what is next? God, it's been so good. This year I told you I was honored. And I feel like the underdog. You know what I'm trying to say? And even my fans, they get so mad when everybody's singing my song. I was like, don't look at it that way. I said, they're keeping my name alive. Huh?
I wondered how you felt about that. Like when you see somebody singing, do you ever say, now they know they should have just asked me to sing it. They ain't singing this song like it's supposed to be sang.
No, because the people that are singing it are A-listers.
Usually.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, and it's just saying like out of all, that's what I told my daughter. I was like, out of all the songs that they could have picked. But I said, Shaka Khan, I said, it's an anthem, Ashley. I'm telling my daughter. It's an anthem. It's just like they used to sing "I'm Every Woman" from Shaka. Remember?
Yes.
I said, so it's a women's anthem. I said, well, why weren't you there? I said, because you had to see the award show. I'm tired of explaining it to y'all, but I said it's not a negative. Now, it was a negative when I wasn't at the Soul Train because they didn't tell me, and that person got fired for that. But everything else is like, I can't, they're actually keeping my name alive. So, wow. And they're introducing my music to a new culture, the younger folks, so I don't look, it's all in how you look at things. Cause it's like, I was like, well, it's always going to be my song. You know what I mean? So right. I said, but and especially back in the day, they used to sing like back in the Motown era.
Yeah. I mean, they sang each other's songs.
Each other's songs, all the time. So it wasn't that many great songs, I guess.
Yeah.
It's okay as long as it's respectful. But I love how they honored me at the awards. The girl tore it down. I told Derek, she put her foot. What did I say something funny? I was like, she put her foot in it and threw it across the street. She threw that song. I was like, woo! And she was so sweet. She was like, I can't remember her name. You guys know her because she's big. What was her name? I want to give her credit. What's her name? The girl who sang my song on the honors. What's her name? She's cold. Starts with an S. Shalela.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, she's a beast. She's a beast. So it's all in how you look at things. It's like, come on now. I could sit back here and say, well, I don't, you know what I mean? I don't, there's no pity party. There's nothing. You just do the work, I'm not, it's ego. That's ego. And I don't have no ego. Like I said, I'm looking at it. Yeah, I'm looking at it a positive way. Just don't take no check from me. Like, look, hey, look. Like, wait a minute now. Like, if it's between me and Tamar, don't be trying to take Tamar singing it over Karyn White. Now that's when I'm like, I kind of got a problem with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But but it's been, I'm just happy. Things are getting better. What am I doing? I'm going to be performing more.
Yay.
A lot more. I'm looking at some big opportunities, and then Derek and I are working on some film projects that are in various stages right now that we're producing. And I'm looking forward to being hopefully, a grandmother soon. My daughter's going to be getting married, and I'm not going to be doing too many more businesses because I'm having fun being an artist again. And I definitely I have a foundation, the Karyn White Foundation. I don't think I shared this with you guys. So any of you women entrepreneurs, please go there and sign up, KarynWhiteFoundation.com. Is it The Karyn White? Yes, The Karyn White. And I give away grants to women, and I want to put together a workshop eventually, and then we'll have some great music, and it'll just be women loving on each other and talking about financial literacy and how to be successful. Yeah. All these great things that have to do with business. And so that's my passion. I'm looking forward to doing, because I love teaching and I love sharing, and I love especially our younger. I love the younger generation, and if they listen, somebody got to talk to them, right? My daughter is jealous when she sees me like talking to a young hairstylist, and I'm trying to tell them, well, what are you doing with your 401k? And did you She's like, Mom, they don't want to hear. I said, oh yes, they do. Just because I hear you and you ain't paying attention to me, you girls appreciate me giving them this information on how to set up their business. And so I was like, stop being a hater. So she just wants mommy. Oh my. But no.
I'm going to be a hater too, Karyn. Look, do the young folks, are they the only women that you talking to?
No,
No, my chat, some of us are so young. We are women of a particular age.
Exactly. I mean, because we're doing this thing, like I said, me getting back in at 40. I told you about my affinity for women. I really, I'm not just saying this. This is how I feel. That song is perfect for me because I really do love women and appreciate them and have an respect. So I'm looking forward to doing that. So sign up at the Karyn White Foundation, and hopefully I haven't been able to give grants away I did it the first year, but hopefully we'll be starting it back up this year coming in 2023. And I would like to invite you guys to the first annual event that we do.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, also, you guys, you and Derek, who is a friend of the show, by the way, I hear his voice in the back. Derek, at least come and say hi to the people. The people know you. The people love some Derek, honey.
Oh,
they love Derek.
Look at him trying to look all sexy.
I can't help that.
Come on, you can sit on over here.
Oh, snap. Okay, what up?
Okay, well, this is perfect. What'd you say?
I'm crashing the party. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Because, we hear you back there talking. We might as well, the people know you and
we
love
ain't
you.
hiding it either. What, Derek, what? He's like, well, dang, girl, you remember it? What did I say? No, go ahead.
Well, this is perfect because, you two did a film together. When Derek was on initially, the first time you came on this show, Derek, we talked about your film career. But let's talk a little bit about this project the two of you did together. Karyn, was this your first movie or no?
Yes, I was very fortunate to be, my first TV show I was on was, what was it, 2018? 2018. It was on Centric. I played, it was only on for a season. It was called Beauty and the Baller. And then this was our first. Derek and I.
Well, she did also American Bad Boy. She had a role with Cat
Williams.
With
Cat Williams. I did that. I forgot I did that. But we started doing acting classes together. And Derek and I met him. And I was so attracted to, like I said, his light. And I called him the alchemist. And he kind of helped me get my mind right, y'all. Everybody, and especially you artists out there, y'all need to call Derek Muhammad. He'll get you right. He gonna cuss you out.
He will do that. He will cuss you out. He will lecture you.
He gonna tell you you're being ungrateful. You need to see it, and no. But he's everything, I needed at that time, especially getting back in this new entertainment industry, right? D, you gonna tell a little bit? Let's talk about.
What about the movie or about
just both, everything that we went through.
I'm just a firm believer that you gotta dig deep and mine your treasures. And this is what I say: be grateful for the cool shade of the toothpick in the hot burning sun. And when you have that perspective, then you can look at anything. As long as you ain't dead, you all right. And if you dead, it's over.
And then seeing Derek go after his dreams, after being successful in other business ventures, and then now saying I want to do movies, but having just the culture, and first and foremost having a plan and a vision for entertainment today. And that's really what we had in common, because I really understood what he was his passion for making films.
Right. And I will give a shout out to Karyn White, because she believed in me and she did not have to. She took a chance on me and gave me a shot. I'm forever grateful and debt, and I'm glad to be her business partner on these ventures. And the whole thing is that we want to do it for the culture, and I'm a firm believer we don't have to wait on nobody to give us nothing. We have what we need. We just be smart about it, and we can make any movie we want to make and get it sold. The technology's here, and social media is here, and her fan base is here, and everybody else's. So come holler at me and Karyn. We'll get the project popping. We got some stuff going on in Atlanta soon.
All right. Well, with that said, I'm gonna show them the trailer for the film. How can they get this film, Derek?
Actually, I sent you the link. I want you to put it in the show notes, and they can go and rent it or buy it in the show notes.
Yeah, it's $2.99 to rent. You get to see Gale Storm. That's my name. It's called Gale and The Storm. Okay. And The Storm is the band. But so it's a dope soundtrack. It's funky. It's got that 70s feel. If you like Shaka, Al Green, Parliament, not James Brown.
Childish Gambino.
Yeah. It's Rick James. It's got all that energy in it. And it's reminiscent. Sly.
Curtis Mayfield.
Yeah, so all of the favorite 70s folks, we kind of did a funk tribute.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna play the trailer.
Okay.
For Gale and Storm.
Gale and the Storm!
We have a very special guest in the house tonight. The lovely Miss Gale Storm.
Meet Gale Storm. Once the former lead singer of the Grammy-nominated band Eclipse. They were on top of the world, so she thought.
People love Eclipse because of our sound.
But still, we need to change with the times.
You a snake.
I'm a survivor.
The secret to change is not worrying about your past. Focus on your future.
So what's next for the great Hannibal Shabazz?
Man, I'm putting together a super group. We bring back soul.
It's been a while since I've been on stage. Just hanging there with me.
You just need to fall back in love with singing again. This game is like a Venus flytrap. Then closes on your ass real fast.
You quit right at the height of your career. Why come back now?
I found out I got a whole lot more music left in me.
I just want to know if you can help me.
All right, what you need me to do?
Take over the world.
What kind of Hannibal are you? You got your good Hannibal, and then you got your Hannibal Lecter.
They see your rise, they just want to latch onto your coattail. They don't want clips, they want you.
I don't live in the past or the future. I live in the now.
Don't light it up unless you wanna burn it down. I am the storm, so get up. Don't light it up unless you wanna burn it down. I am the storm, so get up. And the people go,
I am the storm. I am the storm.
Yeah.
I am the storm. There you go, great.
Okay.
Gale and The Storm!
You should stick around for the show, because it's going to be fun.
Yes. Yes.
Woo! You should stick around for the show, y'all, because it's going to be funky.
Funky. All right. Well, look, I'm not going to keep you any longer. I was going to force you to play this little game real quick, but you blessed us so much already with so much insight, inspiration. I'm just excited, not just excited that we had a chance to meet you, but that we got a chance to know you. And I think
Y'all did.
Look, sometimes you think entertainers are real surface and, don't have any depth. You do. And it sounds like you always had it. And maybe you didn't know it, but it was obviously there. And you're going to inspire so many people the more they hear your story and get to learn from you in the process. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me, sis. And thank you all for being on here with me, getting to know Karyn White today. Again, and follow me if you want to on IG, Karyn White Official, and at Karyn White Official on Facebook. Okay, everybody. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I love your show intro. That's dope.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, nice. Congratulations. It's a beautiful quality show. I love it.
Thank you so much. And Derek, thank you, my friend, my brother. Oh, and happy belated birthday. Derek had a birthday, you guys, recently. So thank you, Derek, for introducing us to the wonderful Karyn White. All right.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Go get it.
Yes. All right. Yeah, you guys, that was Karyn White. How about that? The real superwoman right there. You guys, do me a favor. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. Also, if you all have any show ideas for me, please let me know. And this is how you can let me know. All right. All right, you guys. So we did it. We interviewed the multi-platinum, award-winning songstress, Miss Karyn White. All right. And you know what? What she said was really, really inspiring. She didn't have to pursue anything other than music. When she left music the first time, she left it at the height of her career. That says a lot too. So, you know, there are so many things she said that were just inspiring to hear. And to know that it's never too late, that you can continue to do whatever it is that you dream of doing. And as long as you're living, you might as well work towards making your own dreams come true. I loved all of what she had to say. So with that said, thank you guys for joining me tonight and for being such a wonderful, wonderful chat. Also, I want to thank Coupon Therapy and Miss Shari for the super chats. I didn't want to interrupt her. So please know it wasn't that I didn't want to acknowledge it in the moment, but I didn't want to interrupt her. She was, you know, laying on some really good knowledge on us. So I wanted to hear that, but I want to thank everybody for your super chats, for all of your support this evening, and for just being in the chat here to, you know, support me in the channel. All right. So with that said, you guys, Shell Loves, thank you, my love. I miss your interviews because your guests are always so personable. Start back blessing us with more. I promise I am, and I'm working on a few more as we speak. We've got some really great people lined up to come on the show. So thank you so much, guys. I am so blessed to have each and all of you. I want to thank my moderators, all of them. Know Your Own Worth, Fedora, Coupon Therapy dropped in. Who else? And I know one is in the sky. So to Natural LP, I'm sure she's in the sky. To all of you, just know I love you. I am grateful for you. And looking forward to the next show. I'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow. I got to come back and be more consistent. Don't worry about it. It's going to happen. All right. With that said, you guys have a great night and smooches.